Does America invade countries to save or to control their resources? This is the secret they don't want the world to know. There is a country that believed it was chosen to protect and police the world. This country claimed to stand for freedom and justice. It said it upholds and defends democracy. It said whenever it crossed oceans with bombs and soldiers, it was doing it for mankind and that it was doing the world a favor. And many people, including you, believed it for years. After all, they were convincing and their stories sounded so genuine. But today, we're going to be giving you the finished story that many mainstream media are either afraid to tell or that they usually stop halfway. And I promise you this, at the end of this video, you'll never see the United States the same again, and you will never take the phrase, "America is saving the world," the same way again. America says it invades for the following reasons: to protect freedom, to spread democracy, to save lives, to protect human rights. But if that's true, you are about to find out these shocking revelations. If it's true, why are there so many countries far worse after the American invasion? Please note, this documentary is not anti-American. It is anti-lies and anti-propaganda. We are bias-bogged. We only stand for the truth. Today, we examine America's invasion history, the justifications, the outcomes, and the uncomfortable pattern no one wants to talk about. If America invades countries to save people, why does it only save certain people? Are some people more favored than others? Strange question, right? Let's keep going. One fact is clear. There are dictators all over the world. Some of them jail journalists because they hate free speech. Some silence opposition by killing or jailing them. Some oppress women by subjecting them to slavery. Some bomb civilians. Some support and sponsor genocide and terrorism. But America only seems angry at some of them. America does not invade the world's worst abusers. It invades the world's most useful targets. These are some examples. Saudi Arabia, human rights violations, yet it is protected as a trusted United States ally. Israel bombing and massacre in Gaza, it is termed self-defense. While Rwanda genocide was totally ignored and tagged as too complicated, it was just two local tribes fighting each other. Congo, many killings and resource exploitations by the West, multiple wars and killings, yet no intervention. Why? Because they don't care. Palestine, bombing, attacks, and suffering, vetoed at the UN. But Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Venezuela? Suddenly, it's an emergency. What do they all have in common? Human rights matter only when they align with U.S. political and economic interests. So let's ask the uncomfortable question. Is America against dictators or against disobedient governments that are not their allies? Hold that thought for a second. The big lie, they invade to save. Every past empire tells the same story. Rome called it building civilization. Britain called it bringing world order. America calls it spreading democracy. Usually, America's official reasons for invasion is freedom and democracy, human rights protection, fighting terrorism, preventing global threats. But here's the question. If saving people was the goal, why is it selective? Why ignore one country's evil acts and then attack another country for doing something similar? U.S. history of interventions that made things worse. Iraq, 1953. Iran had a democratically elected leader. He made one single mistake. He said Iran should control its own oil and resources. Their crime against the U.S., Iran nationalized its oil. United States action? America responded by overthrowing a democratically elected leader, then installed a brutal dictator, which led to the 1979 revolution and decades of hostility. America destroyed Iranian democracy, then accused Iran of being undemocratic. What an irony. Chile, 1973. Same story in Chile. In Chile, a president was elected democratically and peacefully, but he wasn't friendly to U.S. interests. U.S. action? The United States backed a military coup. America helped remove a democratically elected leader, then installed a military dictator. Result? Years of dictatorship, torture, and disappearances. thousands tortured. Under the regime, thousands of people disappeared and were never seen again. It is all democracy until you don't support their interest. Vietnam. Their justification for attacking Vietnam was to stop communism. Reality? Napalm, Agent Orange, millions dead. Who was saved? Nobody. Iraq, 2003. The reason for attack, America claimed Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. They said Iraq was a threat to the Western world. They said the world was in danger. The media repeated it. Politicians all around the world agreed. Dissent was called unpatriotic. So America invaded. Truth, after many years of bombing, no weapons of mass destruction were found, not one. Outcome? The country was destroyed. Over 1 million people died. Infrastructure destroyed. ISIS emerged. Sectarian violence exploded. Iraq is now ruled by a dictator. After America left, the country was in chaos. More terrorist groups were created and multiplied in numbers and structure. And somehow, this was still called liberation. Afghanistan, 2001 to 2021. America said it was fighting to build a democracy in Afghanistan. Justification? Fight terrorism, build democracy. Billions of dollars lost, thousands of lives lost. Then one day, America left. In just a few days, the government collapsed. The Taliban returned, stronger, more structured than before. Now the Taliban have more sophisticated U.S. weapons that were left by the United States. Women are tortured and maltreated. 20 years of saving undone in a weekend. You don't lose in 20 years if your mission was saving. Libya, 2011. America said it was protecting civilians from a dictator. Justification? Protect civilians. Outcome? Gaddafi killed. State collapsed. Slave markets returned. Militias everywhere. From dictatorship to failed state. From dictatorship to chaos, which led to the growth of illegal arms trade and local terrorism across Africa. If these were rescue missions, why does the countries always look worse after the so-called rescue? Syria. Actions? Proxy wars, sanctions, destabilization. Outcome? Millions displaced, country shattered. Saving Syrians by destroying Syria. The sanctions weapon. Silent war. Sanctions are siege warfare with better PR. Sometimes America doesn't bomb but uses economic sabotage. When bombs aren't used, the United States used sanctions. Countries hit hardest by U.S. sanctions. Iraq, 1990s. Iran, Venezuela, Cuba. Reality of sanctions? Starving civilians, collapsing healthcare, children suffer. Not the leaders, not the politicians, but innocent citizens. They don't kill people, they say. They just apply pressure. But pressure on who? Definitely not the leaders, definitely not the politicians, but on the people they claim they are protecting, the innocent citizens. Children, hospitals, entire economies. It's another form of war with better branding. Regime change as a business model. America doesn't export democracy. It exports instability, then profits from rebuilding it. Who benefits? The American government and economy, defense contractors, arms manufacturers, private military companies, reconstruction corporations, American firms that will benefit from the resources. War is bad for civilians, but excellent for American businessmen and shareholders. Why some countries are never invaded? Ask yourself this: why not Saudi Arabia? Why not Israel? Why not dictators allied to the U.S.? Answer: America doesn't fight dictators, it fights disobedient governments. The media machine. Invasion begins long before bombs fall. Steps: demonize the leader, dehumanize the people, repeat one narrative, silence dissent, call it liberation. If you control the story, you control consent. Part 8. The final pattern. Look at the evidence. Democracy rarely survives U.S. intervention. Violence increases. Terrorism grows. Countries become dependent or broken. If a doctor treats 10 patients and 8 die, you don't call him a savior. Let's pause and look at the pattern. Countries are invaded. Governments collapse.
Violence increases. Extremism grows. America leaves. And then, America says to the world, see, they can't govern themselves. After destroying the house, they complain about the mess. The uncomfortable truth. America does not invade countries to save them. It invades to maintain power, to control the country's resources. If America were saving countries, they wouldn't keep needing saving. And if bombs created freedom, the world would already be free. America does not invade countries to save. It invades to maintain power. Sometimes a dictator falls, but the people fall with him. The greatest lie is not that America is evil, but that its violence is humanitarian and to protect. If freedom comes from bombs, why does it never survive the explosion? This was never a rescue mission. It was a business plan, with a very good story. Don't fall for it. This is the true story they don't want you to know. Follow us for more stories.